Heinz Doofenshmirtz is actually known as Dr. Doofenshmirtz and also is a very grumpy scientist who has plans to trap Perry the Platypus. However, his plans failed after Perry the Platypus successfully defeats him. He also says his catchphrase, "Curse you, Perry the Platypus," every time he gets defeated. Now, we're going to discuss the story on how Heinz Doofenshmirtz actually met Perry the Platypus. Now, Heinz Doofenshmirtz is not really a villain, but at the end of season 4, he apparently reformed himself to not be a villain and also to be a college teacher, Doofenshmirtz apparently attempts to rule the world with his inventions. However, Perry the Platypus apparently has a few turns to defeat him. Although he is kind of smart to have performed a musical numbers and perform songs, how he hates his brother Roger Doofenshmirtz. Because of this, Roger Doofenshmirtz apparently had played a lot of sports when he was young. He definitely defeated the poor Doofenshmirtz. But do you know after that, in the end of the episode, Heinz Doofenshmirtz apparently celebrates his victory dance thinking he won. But Roger apparently said that he lost, that he lost. Now, I've been watching Phineas and Ferb before, and I've watched it when I was actually a little girl, like that. I was only around below the age of 10 if I'm not mistaken, so basically just don't get me started with it, alright? Don't get me started. Alright. Let's continue. So basically, Harry the Platypus apparently has those kinds of things. He apparently wanted to defeat Dr. Doofenshmirtz because he wanted to destroy and rule the world, So eventually, what really happened to him? Dr. Doofenshmirtz apparently had no friends. He was bullied, except for his balloony. But apparently, what I was gonna say is that ever since his childhood, Dr. Doofenshmirtz's parents was so abusive. They never cared about him, and he was also forced to be the gnome after several of his father's gnomes were taken away. So eventually, what really happened? When Roger Doofenshmirtz was born, Heinz apparently was forced to wear girl clothes for the rest of his life, Heinz was also afraid to get down off the diving board. He also didn't care enough, But during his teenage years, he apparently had a tendency to skate around his underwear into the toilet, which I don't believe it's kind of funny, but it's kind of dangerous, They say I am a superstar. It apparently turned out to be a viral internet video and many people were laughing. During his college years, he lost during the science fair and wanted to vote competitions instead. So eventually he had a curiosity on how he had the soda volcano. But eventually, as a young man, he started his own brasswork company. Nobody even wanted to buy the brasswood. He would vow his revenge to get back at the vendor. At his evil school, by his evil 101 teacher, Dr. Gevick, had plucked him out of evil school. To this day, Dr. Doofenshmirtz apparently was the mad scientist, and he wanted to defeat Perry the Platypus. So Heinz went on a blind date with Linda Flynn, who apparently became LaDonna. But it didn't go well when the movie theater had popped out of the screen and landed onto the floor. Linda apparently divorced Heinz Doofenshmirtz, and he married a woman named Charlene. So they apparently gave birth to a girl named Vanessa. As Vanessa grew up, she was always tired to have a special birthday party. But when Vanessa apparently turned 16, her father apparently was worried that Vanessa may get hurt by anything. It could be a wild animal, it could be insects, bees. But in one episode, Vanessa and her friends apparently got confronted by the bees. Dr. Doofenshmirtz saved them from the bees. But I'll just say it's like kind of dangerous, I wouldn't definitely have to agree with it, but definitely I'll just say it's kind of dangerous, Dr. Doofenshmirtz could have just called like insect patrol, I guess. Maybe the firefighters to chop down the trees at night. I don't know if it's gonna work. Just don't do this one in real life, okay? I don't want anyone to get hurt. Bye. Okay, that's enough of us talking about Dr. Doofenshmirtz. Anyways, he just wanted to protect his daughter, but if you would think that he wanted to do that, then he could. But I just do believe that Dr. Doofenshmirtz wanted to protect his daughter so he doesn't get hurt, Like, I seriously mean like that, alright? Apparently, things didn't go too far again. Dr. Doofenshmirtz did hate all the holidays, despite his sad childhood. Dr. Doofenshmirtz that Christmas wasn't bad, but he could just like accept it, So eventually, during these kinds of times, Dr. Doofenshmirtz and Perry the Platypus don't really fight with each other, but on occasions they do. However, in the end of season 4, Dr. Doofenshmirtz doesn't really fight with Perry the Platypus, except in some episodes. Even though he was a villain, he still had heroic moments where he saved the cat, and he bought a Mary McGuffin doll at the yard sale, and he did a lot of those stuff in order to prove himself to be good. But even though he was like evil, we could still accept him from that. But unlike his other clone, Dr. Doofenshmirtz from the second dimension, he was definitely an evil person until he got arrested by Major Monogram and the Fireside Girls, who turned out to be warriors for that, What happened to Dr. Doofenshmirtz? Like that. Dr. Doofenshmirtz apparently just tries and do something about it. Even though Perry the Platypus and Dr. Doofenshmirtz are enemies, eventually Dr. Doofenshmirtz apparently just apologizes to Perry. He won't do it again. But in Milo Murphy's Law, Dr. Doofenshmirtz does not defeat Perry the Platypus. Even though he attempted a few times, Dr. Doofenshmirtz should know that Perry the Platypus is his friend, even though both of them have like sides, But during that time, Dr. Doofenshmirtz also created like clones. He decided to delete them, but he deleted all the buttons by mistake. It destroyed the clones, When I really think about Dr. Doofenshmirtz isn't like is a villain, but apparently he improved himself to be the best father he could ever been to Vanessa. Even though he's not a villain, but he's also like the former antagonist of the show. Dr. Doofenshmirtz learns his lesson that a platypus should be treated that way, not to be trapped, I'll just say I think that's all for now, okay? Let's just try and say that if I am wrong, you can correct me, okay? You can just correct me, alright? Because this is the best I can really do. This is the best talking I can really do. I'm very sorry if my talking was bad. Forgive me, okay? Just forgive me. And apparently I'm just gonna say, I think that's all I have to say for now. Thank you for listening for the summary that I have chosen for that. And I hope you guys enjoy this video. This is me signing off.